We've been out in the open too long. Let's get back to the carriage and bed down for the night. Tomorrow we strike at Vaknuk.
Says Kator. In his dreams, he sees flames, the sacred grove. Another tree turns to ash. A lush forest now reduced to two solitary trees. After organizing the battle plans, Kator puts a hand on Cornelius's shoulder.
Protect Alec at all costs.
As they cast their spells and prepare to leave, Jack checks his crossbow.
Are you sure you're up for this?
The crystals mess with magic being cast there, but we've got spells that will last long enough from here, and I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Jack winks.
If we're not back in 3 days, go to the lab.
Alec barely notices the comment. Dobby nods in acknowledgement of the command. Invisible, protected from radiant and acidic damage, moving faster than normal and nearly silent, the trio of pilgrims approach the village. Vaknuk breaks down the door to his hut and steps into the courtyard holding a smaller bugbear aloft. He roars and shouts and rips the bugbear in half. Vaknuk's armor blazes and smokes. He bellows another roar, and all the creatures left alive in the courtyard turn and run away. Nyx, as a giant wolf, takes a step onto the ashen pathway that separates the grassland from the mountain and paves the ground of the village. Vaknuk turns to look directly there and draws his sword, which blazes and smokes just like his armor. Kator shimmers into visibility as his arrows fly, only one hitting its mark in the gaps of the smoking armor. Fighting ensues, with Vaknuk taunting the pilgrims and reinforcements arriving. Worm's euphoria breath saves the day by sending the bugbears into a drugged stupor one by one. Vaknuk uses lightning javelins to assault the ranger, tearing chunks of leather armor and flesh away. He retreats farther and farther and tries to cast magic in return, but gets only a snowy cloud. With one more javelin, a nasty chunk of flesh is removed from Kator's midriff, his organs beginning to spill out, his blood soaking into the ground. He falls to the ground. Jack rushes towards him while Nyx grapples and bites at Vaknuk. Nyx's werewolf fangs sink into the bugbear's neck and his shouting gurgles to a stop. Jack pours a potion into Kator's mouth, letting out a held breath when he sees his friend's eyelids flutter open. Groggy, the ranger puts a blood-drenched hand on Jack's sleeve.
Thank you.
Whoosh! Wind kicks up some of the ash on the ground just before two massive thumps hit the ground. A dragon has landed very close to Jack and Kator. Its reptilian growl rumbles as it lowers its head to look at them. The blue dragon, covered in open wounds and sores, with madness in her eye, addresses the ranger.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't kill you.
Without hesitating, through the fog of blood loss, Kator repeats the words Zephron had told him to say to Jane when they found her.
Papa Dragon wants his little pumpkin to stop.
She rears back.
What? No, how could...
She is cut off by a coughing fit that shakes the ground with its ferocity. Blood gushes from her mouth, and she spits up a chunk of flesh, small in comparison to her body, but larger than a fistful for any of the pilgrims.
He's dead. You killed him. But he wouldn't have told you that.
Zephron is alive, Jane. We saved him from the Red Plague. He asked us to come help you. Will you let us help you?
Jane coughs and slams the ground with her foreclaws.
I'll do what you ask if you can heal me.
The pilgrims split up briefly, the injured ones heading back to the carriage with Jane, and the uninjured ones grabbing as much loot as they can carry. They see the whole area is abandoned now. All the bugbears and slave workers have run off. Due to Vaknuk's death or Jane's arrival, they don't know. Alec says he can make Jane healthy again, but it will take a long time, and he needs his laboratory. Jane agrees to go with him, and Kator makes sure to mention where Zephron is.
In case we don't see you before you are healthy again.
Jack finds the coins looted from Vaknuk's hut are strangely warm, and the metal objects he had in the same bag are also warm. Alec, Nyx, and Jack work together to figure out that the coins are coated with a fine dust from the green chaos crystals that were being mined near the base of the mountain. They wash what coins they can take with them, go back to Vaknuk's hut, pour the rest of the coins down the well, then collapse the well to seal it up, and leave a sign saying danger, not safe to drink. Their last step is to burn down the ramshackle remains of the mining village. As they depart the mountain and go their separate ways, the pilgrims pass by the small sapling again, and it thanks them for putting its mother to rest. On the road east a few days later, an apparition shimmers into existence before the carriage, and Bob stops. The cloaked figure floating slightly off the ground, with robes draping beyond its hands and one arm forward in a stop signal. "Whitley,"
Not you again.
says Cator as he tries to get Bob to move.
You shouldn't be going north.
Responds Whitley.
Last time we saw you, you put us to sleep.
Was it relaxing?
Elves don't sleep. How would you like it if someone put you to sleep against your will?
The north is very dangerous. Why don't you stay a while or head south?
Whitley suggests.
What do you know about time travel?
Asks Cator.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Cator questions Whitley for a while longer, attempting to figure out Whitley's connection to Alakazam and Father Nicodemus. As the sunlight fades, Jack suggests using magic. Cator agrees.
He's stalling for time.
Jack casts a sphere of silence and blindness around Whitley, and suddenly Bob can move again. Cator snaps the reins and they head north as quickly as possible. Whitley's voice pierces their minds as they leave.
You are making a mistake.
They ride through the night, stopping just before morning. Selenfi feeds Bob as the others make camp and scout the area. Nyx dreams of Lorgar in a mountain of flesh, bone, and gore.
I think I was dead. And I think it was Lorgar's fault.
Nyx tells the others when they ask. They try to comfort the druid, but take the dream as a serious omen. The group pass by Fulidu and question the absence of the elven military. The Red Plague is gone. There isn't even any signs of the fire that they set to prevent it from spreading to the town. Much of the town appears to be new construction, and after some questioning, they find out that Bob ate a large portion of the old wooden structures in the town. Cator sees the fear in the farmer's eyes as they approach the metal barn, the only one in town large enough for Bob. Last time they were here, they left Bob and Dobby with the same farmer and a small wooden barn. Feeling the weight of the coins on his back and the weight of guilt on his soul, Cator decides to buy the barn from Herbert.
I'll pay you 10,000 gold, and you'll be my employee, managing the barn and collecting money from travelers who stable their animals here. We'll split the profits 50-50. You can hire some laborers to help out.
After some convincing and some haggling, they decide on a 75-25 split in favor of Herbert. Throughout the town, they find people very unhappy with the current rulership of the town, so the pilgrims head to the town hall to talk to them in person. They loudly argue over how much to raise taxes on the poor, and one who suggests not raising taxes gets laughed at. The pilgrims learn that this mayoral council appointed themselves and hold no allegiance to any higher kings or leaders. Outside, Cator orders the city hall be barricaded except for the front door. Jack uses magic to pile dirt up to the roof on all sides, covering the windows. Cator covers the inside of the front door with mud, then begins covering the outside with foliage. He carves the word prison above the door. When asked about the mud on the door, he explains.
The mayoral council won't touch it, so this door will do until we can get a lock installed. The staff inside are free to go whenever they please. We'll hire them on to feed the prisoners and keep the place in working order.
Meanwhile, Silentfi is spotted in a shop by a young child who gets scared and thinks he is a zombie. The monk lifts his robe above his ankles and bends down to look.
Where? No goblin, I see.
He then somersaults forward and lands sitting.
Scared of zombies I am, but see any here I do not.
The child laughs, and Silentfi is able to talk to him afterwards, hearing about how the mayoral council is very mean to the child and his friends, and their parents.
Kaitor,
His eyes widen in fear.
Where are you?
that's not important. Where are you, and why haven't you stopped Sithis yet?
You're Tam Cherrywood? The vampire who sent us to get Alakazam and stop the dragon in the west?
I'm Tam Cherrywood. What is taking so long with the dragon?
We had to go all over to find Alec. He was taken by pirates, then imprisoned, and we had to save him from being executed, then assassinated. And we got sidetracked with the portals and the Red Plague and the Underdark, but we did stop the dragon, Jane. She was sick, and now Alec is going to help her get better.
Jane? No, you were supposed to stop Sithis. You need to use the portals now. Sithis has gone far away to the north. The portals are the only way to get there before he leaves. Head to the portal immediately.
About that, see, we found the tower near the river that had the portal at the top with the different settings, but there was this assassin hired to kill Perrin, and his woolly rhino nearly destroyed the tower. We were able to save it, but the portal wasn't working properly afterwards. We found another portal in the Underdark, and once we used that one to go to the tower, it stabilized that connection. But the other connections are unstable.
Damn it, you fools. I'll have to arrange transportation. I'll contact you again tomorrow. Be ready.
So, Sithis is your old friend from the Golden Five, and he's a red dragon now, right?
Yes, a 3-headed red dragon, and you'll need his help to defeat Temorglum. Tomorrow. Be ready.
Tam, wait, what about Tilly? Does she exist in this timeline?
Kaitor blurts out, but the connection was already closed. Only a wandering drunk hears him speaking from the bushes. Jack wanders into the forest alone at night, trying to get Thoraxia to help him obtain a source of clay. The trees around here are magical and sentient, and will fight back if you try to cut them down. They are clearly still upset about the plague and the burning, but they are reasonable. The townsfolk ask nicely, and 1 or 2 trees will fall down voluntarily for them, but not enough to build a proper prison. A light catches his eye, and he gets distracted. He follows the path of wisps into the forest, away from Thoraxia and the clay deposit. He gets almost to the edge of the cliff before he snaps out of it and remembers how Elsa almost died this way months ago. He casts a sphere of blindness around himself to prevent the lights from invading his mind. Kaitor and Silentfi ruthlessly execute the wisps, hunting them down in a string leading to their friend. No wisp mother this time, a relief for them all once they meet up. The men head to the clay pit, and Nyx meets up with them along the way. Jack uses magic to lift a huge deposit of clay out a bend in the small river and encase it in a sphere to roll it back to town. Silentfi finds a boulder that could fill the hole to repair the river, which could not flow properly and was slowly flooding the area near the bend. Kaitor lines up behind the boulder and says,
Together, on 3. 1, 2...
Nyx turns into an elephant and pushes the boulder almost effortlessly into the hole.
3.
Kaitor says as he falls face first into the mud.